Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Lindsay and today I want to make a card using the new Echo Park Welcome Easter collection. Now today's card is going to be a mixed media card, so I'm going to be using various elements from this collection, but then also different other items. Now I'm going to get started with the base of the card using solid cardstock. So I think as a base I'm going to go for one of the greens. Let's see. So these are double-sided cards. So one side is pink, the other side is like a turquoise, and then we have another turquoise, oranges, and like a lemon green. Let's do this one. Next, I'm going to pick out some paper that I want to use. I'm going to use two different colored pattern papers, so let's choose two from this collection also. Isn't this cute? There's also some stickers added to this collection. This is the back and front, back. Oh, this is nice. Back of that one. Okay, I think I already know what I'm going to use for this project today. Just going through these to see if there's anything else. I want to use two different papers. Nice. Bunnies. Alright, so those are the pages included in this kit. I'm going to go with, I might cut out some of these to use later. So I'm going to put these aside. Alright, so I'm thinking of doing these two. I'm going to go with these two. Alright, so this collection also comes with a lot of other embellishments. So some chipboard. So we're going to use some of these as well. These ephemera. On the back you can see which ones are included. Enamel dots. And also very cute stamp set. Probably going to use this for sentiment later on. They also have another stamp set, but I just have this one today. Okay. Now what I'm going to do first is cut down the solid paper to the size that I want, so that I have the base for my card. I want to use a larger size for this card, so I'm thinking about doing it maybe, what should I do? Let's see. In length about 8, yeah, 8, and this is the length that it's going to be, so 8 inches. Put this one away, and then 8 by 5, what is this? 8 by 5 5, so 8 by 10. Let's do 8 by 10. Okay. Now I did it 8 by 10, so that means at the 5 inches I'm going to score this card. Okay, this way around. Okay, at 5, so right down the middle. And we have our card. This is our card base. That is. Score this. Alright, so now this is 5 by 8, and I'm going to cut down these two as well to fit in there. So I'm probably going to do each of them 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch smaller. So this is 8 by 5, so it's going to be 4.5 by 7.5. Four and a half. Let's do 4 3/4 instead. Let's see how that looks first. And then also 7 3/4. So right here. There we go. Put this to the side. Let's see. Oh yeah, that works. All right. And then I'm gonna take the other one and do 4.5 by 7.5. So 1/4 inch smaller than the last part, the last piece. 4.5. By 7.5. We'll just see how it looks, and if I need to, I can always trim down a little bit more. I'm gonna get this one out of the way. So I'm gonna do this one, and then layer this one on top of it. Don't really get much of this one, so I might do a 1/4 inch smaller. Yeah, I'm gonna do a 1/4 inch smaller. So now we have 7.5, so we're gonna do 7 1/4. And then 4.5, we're gonna do a 1/4 size smaller. So 4 1/4 instead. All right. Let's see how that looks. So this one, and then this one. There. Yeah, I like this better. Okay, what I'm gonna do is mount them on double-sided foam tape to give them both a little bit of dimension. So I'm gonna grab my foam tape and put it on this side, this one first. And one more right down the middle. There we go. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and mount this one. last one. Get this as centered as I can. There we go. All right, so this is the first layer. What I'm gonna do with the second was is before I add any double-sided foam tape, I'm going to distress the edges. I'm gonna use a distressing tool, but you can also use your scissors for this. Final side. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. All right, so to give the edges a bit more dimension, I'm going to add some ink. I'm going to ink up the edges. Let's try Kitsch Flamingo. I'm just going to use distress ink for this one, so let's try this color and see how that looks. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So I'm going to do this on all the edges, all around this card. Beautiful. And more on this side. Give it that old vintage feel. A bit more grungy look. Okay, that is done. All right, so now I'm going to mount it on this one using also double-sided foam tape. Got it. Next, here we go. Some on this side, right up close to the edge. There we go, and then one final piece right down the middle. Cool. And that's it. Alright, so I'm gonna take the tape off. Let's see. Little piece off right there, and we're done. All right, I'm gonna use it this way and center it again, and there we go. All right, so this is the base of our card. Now we can start embellishing and using our mixed media supplies. The first thing I'm going to do is use a stamp. The first stamp I'm going to use for this is this one by Stamp Bandis. It's called Impressions Every Time. French it says so, but this is very cute, so I'm going to use this one. color should we use for, let's do vintage photo. All right, so I want my element for this vintage style mixed media card to come right around here. So I'm gonna keep that in mind when I'm stamping. I do want some accents from the stamps here and there, probably around the edges, maybe around this side as well. But most of my elements will be centered or will be placed around this side, like kind of like going like this. I don't really worry about taking this off because I just need parts of the stamp, like so. All right, that's good. There. That's perfect. Maybe a little bit more here. All right, that's good. Okay, that's done. What I'm gonna do next is do some embossing, a little bit of embossing and then some stenciling. So first the embossing. Let's see what color. I'm going to use Bridal Tinsel by Ranger. Some Versamark watermark ink, and the stamp that I'll be using for this, I think I'm gonna try this one. This one's by Stamperia. I'll look these stamps up, all the supplies that I'm using, and link them in the description box. Right, so I'm gonna use this for my embossing powder. Let's see how this works out. Just for some added texture and some sparkle as well. Now same with this, there's this little piece of plastic over there, but I don't really mind it, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. Add some embossing powder before this dries off. There, see? And then let's add some more around here. I don't know if you can see that sparkle right there. And then let's do a little bit more up here. Nothing too crazy, just a bit. All right, there we go. That'll do. All right, let me pour this back in its jar. And we're all set with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and put these away. And now to use the heat gun. When using a heat gun for your embossing powder, keep in mind that just when you turn it on, give it a couple of seconds to heat up before you go over it, the embossing powder. There we go. Alright, done. How cool is this? Isn't that pretty? Alright, so up next, let's do some texture paste. Just to give it a little bit more dimension. Let's see, I'm gonna use the Distress texture paste, and then I'm gonna use the stencil. Today I'll be using this one by Memory Box. It's called Pattern Lengthening. Don't judge me. This is by Memory Box, so we're going to be using this one today. Here it is. I think it's very pretty. Yeah, let's use this one, and maybe we'll add on some color later. I have these very pretty ones also from Picket Fence. Paper glaze also gives some dimension in these very pretty colors. I have this green one that's called Succulent Green, and then this gold one that is called, let's see, Golden Rose. So we might use a little bit of these as well. I'm taking my palette knife. And let's get started. This is a crackle texture base, so it's gonna crackle a little bit. Now we're gonna do, let's see, some around here, I think. Now this doesn't have to be perfect, because keep in mind we're going for a bit of that grungy look, okay? So there's some there. Gonna do some right over here as well, a little bit, not much. Okay, and also some up here. And then a bit more around this corner. Tiny bit more around here. All right, that's enough. All right, keep in mind when you're using all kinds of mixed media like this, make sure that the edges to the lid and the edges on the lid are clean. Otherwise, when it dries off, it's going to be really difficult to get it open again. Now, just taking some wipes and wiping this clean. My palette knife. All right, that's done. And then let's also clean off the stencil a little bit. All right. Cleaning off the work area. All right. So we're gonna give this a chance to start drying a little bit. So in the meantime, I'm going to start getting out picking out some flowers, chipboards, other stuff that I want to use for this project. As I said before, I think from this set, I'm probably gonna use one of these. So let's do, which one? Maybe that's cute. Let's do that one. This side, and then make sure, try and get this as straight as possible. This one's also very cute. Let's see, it's gonna be one of these two. All right, let's get rid of this. And now some chipboard as well. We have our ephemera and also enamel dots. These we're gonna leave for last. And then we're just gonna play around with these in a minute to see what works best with the card. I also have this little wooden piece. This is from an older collection that I have. I've had this in my stash for a few years, but I'm still gonna try and find it and see if I can link this one or something similar below in the description box. And then I also have these from Prima. This I also have had for a while, and I'm gonna be using the frame for this one. All right, let's see how our card is doing. Okay, I think it's just a little wet. I'm gonna use my heat tool to dry it off just a little bit quicker. Sorry for the noise. That should do. Let's see. Okay, here you can see the colors a little bit. That is from the ink that has come through into the paste. And can you see the crackle effects in this? That is really cool. All right, we also need flowers. I almost forgot about the flowers. Let me grab those real quick. So I have tons of Prima flowers, but I'm gonna grab these. These are fairly new. I just got these a few days ago. So let's see if I can make these work. I think the colors are okay. Otherwise, I'll just go through my stash, see what we have. Now, I'm just gonna start placing stuff on the card to see what works best and what layout I wanna work with. So I'm gonna grab one of these first. Let's see which one. These, I have some ephemera here as well. Maybe let's do, and this is cute, let's do the bunny. This one. Okay. All right, so instead of this one, I'm gonna go with this one because we already have the bunny there. So we're gonna do this one, the frame. Let's see what we have in these little packets. Maybe a sentiment. Yeah, let's do a sentiment from this kit. All right, we have Hello Easter. One cute chick, that's adorable. Easter hop, happy Easter on the truck, that is cute as well. Easter, happy Easter. Right. All you need is love and Easter and candy. Let's go with that one. All right, so some of these I will also be using the 3D or the double-sided foam tape to give it a bit more dimension. And let's see, this is a little bit big. Let's see if we maybe not use that, use something else instead, or cut it down a bit. We'll see. Let's just go with it and see what happens. I might paint this one up a little bit. What should we do? Maybe with a little bit of this one. This is pretty. All right. I'm going to grab just a piece of paper, just scrap paper, and a brush. Let's do this brush. I'm gonna take a little bit out of this right here, just add a tiny bit to the paper, and let's see if I can water that down a little bit and get it. Yeah, that'll do. Just watering it down a little bit to give this a cool color, but still to look a little bit distressed. Just adding a little bit of water as I go. I just really like the color. I think it looks really pretty on the pink. So let's do that. Okay, that's looking good. Now again, I'm gonna go ahead and first clean off my brush. There, done. And I'm gonna dry this off using the heat gun, just so we can move along a little bit quicker. That'll do. Still a bit wet, but it's okay. Let's see, I think we're gonna put it around here. I think, yeah. And then the chipboard, I think we're going to use to emboss this. Let's emboss that. Maybe some blue. I don't have much blues. Maybe do this in blue. Just gonna grab some scratch paper again. Scrap paper. Like so. Yeah, that should work, I think. This is Wow embossing powder. The color is Nice Ice Blue, and it has a little bit of glitter in it as well. Alright, what I'm gonna do is just stamp this onto the wooden chipboard. And then sprinkle on some embossing powder. Make sure you cover that real well to get all the little details embossed. I'm just gonna use this. Okay, let me pour this back in the jar. There we go. Let's try this and see how that looks. All right, that's looking really pretty, but I'm gonna do a second layer. Same color, same thing, same technique. Just press it on and sprinkle some embossing powder on this. Make sure you covered it well again. It's a little bit more difficult to see now that it's already blue. Shake off the excess, put it to the side. This stuff back in the jar. There we go. Let me close the lid before I spill this, and let's heat set this. All right, cool, that's it. Now that that's done, we can move this out of the way. Be mindful that when you heat set stuff that it might get a little bit hot. So I'm gonna do that. And we're gonna use all of these elements. I might put this one up here. No, I'll do this one last. The little bunny right down here, I think. And then some flowers. Let's grab some flowers. First, a big one, a statement flower. Let's do one of these. And then let's see what else we have. Let's do this lilac one as well, and then a green one. I think we should add a little bit of yellow as well. Let's see. My yellow flowers. All right, let's see. I just grabbed a few. Let's see what works best. Let's do that one. This one over here. Maybe this one over there. Right there. Maybe another yellow one over here. That's pretty. And maybe a blue one, a small blue flower. I have these huge mason jars and I just color coordinate and put on tons of flowers. For example, this is my blue jar and I have all my blue flowers in here. Makes it easier to grab the colors I need. Alright, so I'm gonna grab some smaller blue ones, I think. Let's see. No, this, no. Got one. That's cute. No. Oh, this one's nice. I think I'm gonna go with that one. Yep. So this is turning out to be a pretty colorful mixed media card, which is cool. So what I'm gonna do first is start gluing down this one. I'm just gonna use tacky glue, quick drying. So let's do that. Right here. And then I want the flower to stick up a bit, so I'm going to add some foam tape to this. I'm going to layer some foam tape on top of each other. Like I'm probably gonna use 3 layers or so. So let's do one. Oh. This one. Let me just cut out a piece. And then cut this in 2 pieces. There we go. Stick these together. Add it, and let's see if that's enough. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Let's go this way with this one. Yeah. There we go. All right, cool. Now let's add the flowers around it. Let's go green over here, I think. Yellow over there. Blue in there. No. Yellow. Maybe like so, and then yeah. Yes, let's do it like that. First off, let me add the blue. I'm just going to use glue for this one. Add glue to the bottom and put it where you want it. Bit of glue. Right there. I'm going to use this yellow one. Glue it right back here as well. Hold it in place for a second. this one right here. There. This yellow one we're gonna put over on this side. Let me just make sure everything stays in place. There we go. Like so. And then these two there. Let me stick this one down too first. So I'm gonna let this sit here. And then we're gonna do like this. I think so. Maybe another flower over here. Maybe another, let's see. Maybe this one with some texture and a little bit more print on it. So let's grab that one. Oops. Yeah, that's cute. There. Loads of flowers. All right, let's put this down first. This one right here. This yellow one over here, right there. And then this one over there. Okay, now we just have to figure out where to put the butterfly, and then also our, oh, that's gonna go there. I'm gonna distress this one as well. Let me first glue this butterfly down. Let's see. Right here, I think. No, here. Wait, let me just move this first, and then, yeah, that's better. Let me glue this one over there. Hold it a few seconds so it doesn't move, so it stays where we want it to stay. I'm not too worried about the glue that you can see underneath, as the glue dries clear anyways, so you're not going to be able to see it later. And then add a little bit more glue to this yellow one again, and put it here. Hold it in place for a couple of seconds. Excuse me. All right, let me start distressing this one. Let me move this to the side for a second. And I'm gonna distress this a little bit, just to give that also a little bit of a grungy feel. Makes it more interesting to see. Again, you can also just use scissors for this. So, all right, that's good enough. I'm going to distress the edges a bit more by inking it up like I did before. Again, I'll be using the Quiche Flamingo for this. Let me put this one right here again. Just grabbing my blending tool. Here we go. Yeah. There we go. All right, this one is done. I'm also going to use some double-sided foam tape for this to give it a bit more dimension as well. I'm going to put one piece first. Let me see. I think I'm going to do one more, so double it up. Let's do that. First remove, oops, this piece. there. Stick this one on top of it. So doubling up, stick this second piece of foam tape on top of it, and then we'll remove this one. Yeah, that should work. And I'm gonna put it right up here. All right, our card is almost done, but we're not quite there yet. We're going to add some sparkle and a few splashes of paint as well. So the way I'm gonna do this is very simple. Let me just move these out of the way. Oh, before I forget, first let's use some of these art pebbles too. All right, let's do the medium and maybe a small one. Yeah. And how about some pearls? Let's do some pearls too. Let's grab a larger one over here. Or no, let's put the large one over there. And maybe a small pink one around there. And maybe another small one where up here. Yeah, let's do that as well. Let me start gluing those down first. Again, this glue dries clear, so once it's dry, you will not be able to see it underneath these gems. So I'm gonna put one right up here, and then this one over here. And then let's stick these pearls down as well. Oh. This one right down there. Yeah. And one more tiny one over here. Okay, what I'm gonna do as well is add a few micro beads. So I have like these little blue ones, but I also have these gold copper, yeah, copper ones. I think the blue, let's go with the blue. These are also by Finnabair. So let me just open this little jar up. I've had these for a while, but I've never actually used this one. So let's take a look and see. Ooh! All right, a micro bead party just happened. Okay. Let's see. Oh, these are really tiny. Let's see. I might have to mix these up with something else. These are really, really fine. Let's just try and see what happens. I'm gonna use 3D gloss gel as a glue for this, and I'm just gonna grab a small paintbrush and dip it straight into that. And let's see, I want some over here, so I'm just gonna put some glue down there. Dip my, oh, that's pretty, yeah. Dip my brush into it and just kind of rub them off on where I placed this gel. I'm gonna add a little bit more and add more of these little beads. That looks cool. All right, we're gonna add some more different places. So maybe some right down here. And then pick up some beads, add them there. A few more right here. There we go. Now, the reason I'm using the 3D gloss gel, it speaks for itself, is it's 3D, so it stays in a three-dimensional effect, which also allows the beads to be able to stack up a bit and have more dimension than just having them flat out on the card. Let's do some more beads up here. I'm just brushing on a little bit of a thicker layer of this and then adding my beads to it. Move them around to have them placed where you'd like. See, once again, this stuff also dries clear, so the white will disappear and you will only see the beads. So that's cute. Let me add a little bit more down here. There we go. That's perfect. All right, let me put this one away. Close the lid. And clean off my brush as well. When I do mixed media, I like to have these little containers of water right next to me so that I can clean off brushes and stuff like that. So I have normally about one or at least 2 or 3 right next to me for ease. Maybe, let's see. I think maybe some stones as well. Yeah, let's do a few stones as well. So we're gonna do exactly the same thing as we just did with the micro beads, adding a bit of this over here, and then adding a couple of the stones right in there. Yeah, those are cute. Right there, and then where else? Let's do some right down here by the pearl. I'm gonna add a little bit extra right there, and add these art stones over there. Add a couple more, and then we're done with this side right there. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll do. Let me close this off again. These art stones are also by Finnabair. All right, let me clean off my brush one more time. This off. Okay. Let's add some splashes of paint next. So let's see, maybe some white. Let me grab some white. I'm just gonna use a little bit of acrylic paint. I'm gonna add a little bit of acrylic paint right here on top of on this piece of paper, and then just add water to it, and then splash that around a little bit. So make sure you shake that really well. Add a tiny bit of acrylic white paint, which doesn't matter what brand or anything like that. So make sure your water is clean though when you're using white. There we go. More water. And just tap this on your finger and splatter some diluted paint. Let's do a bit more white. Let's do some on the flowers, some more on the flowers too. All right, next let's do a little bit of gold, just to give it a little bit of shimmer. I have this gold one by Stamperia. This is also acrylic, it's called Oro. Shake that up, add just a tiny bit right here. And then also, same thing, make sure your water is clean when you do this, and then splatter some around. There we go. There we go. I'm considering doing one more color just to give it a little extra, maybe some blue. Let's do this one. This is called Carta Zucchero, I think, by Stamperia as well. So I'm just gonna shake it up. Should we do yellow? We also have yellow. Let's try yellow. Maybe a little bit brighter. No, let's stick with the blue. Sorry. All right, tiny bit, plenty, and then add some water. And splash. Yeah, there we go. I like that. Just a bit more color. I think that's enough. I think. Yes, okay. Let me just clean off my brush real quick. All right, that's done. And then the last thing I'm gonna add is a couple of sequins, I think, or gems. I have these really pretty ones by Studio Kacha. They're like minty, they're called Sky Blue. So we're just gonna use those. Let me put this away. And they have these really cute triangle trays to use with the gems. So I'm just gonna pour out a few here. And then this gem tool, use this gem tool, and let's see where we're gonna stick them. Grab my glue. Let's put one right here on the butterfly's wing, maybe there, right there. Let's do a medium one right there. And then maybe one up here. A smaller one right there. One right about here. I'll do a larger one, I think. Yeah. And maybe one more right here. There. Yeah, I think that's it. And our card is done. Now using this tray, you can just very easily pour the leftover gems right back, and we're done. Okay, so this is our card. This is our little mixed media Easter card. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Please remember to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, then please subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me. Bye.